All right, welcome to another edition of Vegas Bad Boys of podcasting. I'm your host, DJ Impact, and I got all of the Bad Boys here with me today. I'm excited that everybody is right now beginning to tune in and beginning to watch us. By all means, if you have access to the live comments, type it in, and we would do our best to try to get that comment onto the show. We have lots to talk about. First off, we're excited, fellas. I mean, great day for sports. I tell you that. When Shant get in, I'll let him know how my Raiders did.
And of course, it's about the Raiders today. It's about the Lakers.
And it is about those Lakers.
Lakers, baby.
That's right.
Right.
Yes. You got the Jack Daniels for sure. Great day. Definitely for shout out to the Lakers. Well, good, man. We're going to start off with our wrestling talk. Exciting times. We have to start off with the draft from this past Friday night. I tell you, there was a lot going on in wrestling, period, this week, just in terms of moves and in celebrations and everything. But let's start off with the draft, folks. So far, are you really beginning to like what you have seen so far? Is there any shocks that's taken place? I think you, King Lucky, I think one of your predictions actually came in, right? Was it Ricochet? You had a Ricochet, right? Let me see what my notes say. I think you have that. No, you said Ricochet to SmackDown, and Ricochet stayed on Raw. That was wrong. Yeah. I'm sorry. So yours actually didn't come through. And we're still waiting for everyone else's. So what do you guys think so far about the draft that we saw Friday?
Well, I thought, you know what? Some of it was predictable. I didn't like the way the first 4 picks didn't shake things up, but that's all right. I thought when they had this person was drafted back to their own brand was kind of wonky, but that was cool. Seth Rollins to SmackDown was long overdue. Mm-hmm. But again, we got Dominic, Ray, more the Mysterio family. Murphy. And then we find out that Murphy is also on SmackDown. So we just go get more of those storylines.
Well, you know what? Apparently the storyline, I don't know, maybe the Fox team said, man, this story is pretty hot. We want this on our network. You think that's what it came down to?
It is going to be, once they finish with all this stuff with Aaliyah and Murphy, it will then be a very good storyline, a compelling storyline. I can't really complain too much. I will say I was happy.
Too much about this. Yet Retribution you don't give it time at all for this storyline or what's going on. Just fuck that. It's fucking shit.
Let me ask you this. Let me jump over to you, Sin City, just to hear your voice for the show. AJ Styles, man, over to Raw. What's your take?
I am 100% happy that AJ Styles is going back to Raw. I think that was something that needed to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's long overdue, but it's definitely a good thing. But there was one move that happened that I am immensely happy about.
All right.
And I think that it may ruffle a few feathers, but it's something that I've been an advocate for quite a while.
Alrighty.
And it wasn't something that I mentioned on our predictions this past week because I didn't quite think that they were going to pull the trigger on it. Okay. But finally separating the New Day.
Yep.
And allowing Big E to eventually get his upper mid card push and allow them to finally build Big E to something more than just a comedy babyface. And I cannot wait to see what they actually have in store for him.
I agree. I was a little sad, but I guess when there are injuries, when Xavier
you're a grown ass man in your 40s, and you were sad that the New Day was separated.
Hold on,
the hell with you,
Michaels.
Matt Michaels. I was very invested into the New Day. Okay, I bought their stuff. I have the glass. I have the shirt. I don't think I'm making myself look better. Go ahead.
You're gonna start sounding like King Lucky here in a second.
Simon Street, go ahead, man.
No,
Welcome to the kingdom, baby.
I look, man. I was just gonna say, Impact. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who knows me knows I go in hard for in the paint for the New Day. But I'm glad that it actually went down the way it did. I think it was good. You can kind of see when they were talking about they're gonna go do the back, get the tag team back, baby. You can see Big E was like, no, that's cool. Yeah, I'm with it, but my heart is somewhere else. And I like how they showcased that.
No, I don't think that's what he was saying. I think he was saying I just got put through a
well, that too. But I looked at it that way. But I will tell you this, Impact, you're probably hearing this song whenever the news broke. Never can say goodbye. No. But it's okay, because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it's just the draft. Big E's going
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
man! I tell you what, I tell you what, Matt Michaels. One of these days, you're gonna regret ever muting any of us, because something very.
But today, I regret having to hear you sing.
Oh my God!
Well, let me ask you this one right quick, Simon Street. What's your quick thoughts? Bianca Belair over to SmackDown.
Awesome.
Okay.
Works perfectly.
Well, you knew it was gonna happen. When she got drafted, you kind of knew. And I said this. I said the Street Profits should go.
Drafted? You just had to see the fucking outcome of the championship match.
Hey, but you know what?
Of course, SmackDown champion.
Street Profits. I think it was a welcome move over to SmackDown. They are very entertaining. They are loading the deck at Fox and SmackDown.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how about you? Let's go over to you, Matt Michaels. I mean, what stood out to you? How about the Miz and John Morrison over to Monday Night Raw? Excited to see them over there now, or it doesn't really matter to you?
I mean, they're not doing great over on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why not put them on Raw and see what do you even keep them a tag team for a while? I mean, I don't know. They've kind of run their course, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think in the long run, you keep Dominic a babyface. You keep this feud up. Let the fans start hating fucking seeing this babyface shoved down their throats, then turn them heel.
Okay.
It works for The Rock, man.
Yep.
Take from your greatest fucking resources, your past. It worked for The Rock. Dominic could be a huge star as a heel, but the fans have to fucking just so sick of him.
Yeah. Yeah,
or in lucky case, watch 4 matches and go, fuck you, man, take them off. I don't want to see this anymore.
And it's a good storyline, man. I mean, I know you get King, you just for some reason, man, it gets started and you only can take it for 2 weeks and you're done. You're ready to just write something off, man. I mean, I'm enjoying the feud that they've been having, and it just keeps elevating and it goes to a next level. Who would have ever thought Aaliyah was going to have this interest in the Murphy? You didn't see that coming from the beginning. I mean, it just keeps adding on. I mean, I don't know. Just let it ride itself out. Could be one of.
What makes you think she has some kind of interest in him? That's maybe she just wants to be a defender and go against the grain of her family. You make it seem like it's personal, like there's a relationship.
Is that what you got from the storyline?
I got from the storyline, because here's the thing. I got a teenage daughter. No, I got a teenage daughter that will purposely do the opposite of what I would like her to do, and just to piss me off in spite. That's just what teenage daughters do. And even though
at the beginning of the angle, they didn't do that.
Right.
It was a clear cut where it wasn't about the fact that she wanted to go against the grain. She was with the family, but
Yep.
as when
Ray
Murphy
made a comment.
right,
Mhm.
and then Murphy got hit outside the cage, and that was the whole thing that she thought he was different than Seth, and yeah, I mean it's Romeo and Juliet type shit.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Well, outside of that, I mean, we talked about the big return of having the New Day on SmackDown, which was great to see. Kofi and Xavier, they look great, and they also tag team champs, so that was good to see. But the comment I want to get from King Lucky is the return of Lars. How exciting were you? Yeah.
Listen, it's only a matter of time, baby.
Uh-huh.
Or he's out of there.
Damn, man, that's so negative, bro.
Listen,
You ain't gonna
that
get a
guy. Listen, he can't draw flies to shit. Okay, and you look at his in-ring work that he was doing on SmackDown, and the fucking clotheslines were just laughable. I don't see a high ceiling for him. I'm very adamant about people that I just don't get anything from, and he's one of them. I will say that in time, as I've been a harsh critic of Cameron Grimes, I can see him doing more than I could see Lars Sullivan.
Wow, that's big of you.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, being the accusations and many of what looked like was true that came out about Lars that had him off of TV in the first place, why, and this is almost like a 3-count topic, but why would WWE chance him even coming back to the roster? I mean, that's some pretty serious allegation that was brought up against him. You guys have any comments about that? Why would they do it?
Yeah, he's already broken it. He's already broken it. There were some text messages that were exchanged, and this was on bodyslam.net.
Okay.
It just broke like within the last couple of hours.
Oh.
And it's between him and, well, here's one of the texts. How much is your booty program? If I was a woman, I'd definitely heed your advice on booty sculpting. LOL. Shh. And nerd icon. Then the response, you got a laughing emoji. It's $50. Put it out to your female following. And he said, I double that for pics, just saying. And then there was also this exchange. Hope you're having a great day so far today, beautiful. Do you typically train in the morning? The response was, as much as my schedule allows, yes. And his response was, I'm totally enamored with your profile today, hon. Ha ha. That post of yours in the black shorts and sports bra. Whoosh. And then laughing emoji. And those were all texted from Lars Too Lucky.
Yeah. Listen,
I was waiting for the payoff.
Hey, here's another reason for him to go off of TV, baby. Yeah.
In all honesty, that was a story that did break.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. I'm so elated.
With this yoga website. Dude, I don't know, man. Here's the best part of that return, though.
Mm-hmm.
So they have professional seamstresses behind the scenes, so guys don't have to buy their own gear, bring their own gear and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And guys travel with their their worn gear and stuff. They'll they keep stuff close, but if you're in a pinch, that's why seamstress is there. So it appears to me that Lars brought his own trunks, because they looked like red underwear and gaffing tape or electrical tape spelling out Lars right on his ass. It was the most pathetic look when you're trying to make this guy look like a monster. Let's put Lars duct taped on his ass.
Or as they said about 1,500 times on commentary, the freak. I swear to God, I lost count of how many times they tried to put over that fucking ridiculous ass nickname.
Hey, if they would have just put that nickname on the trunks, I would have been all over that. That would have been fine. You know?
Yeah.
But just putting Lars on his ass, it was like, we know he's Lars.
His
Y'all-
return will be short-lived, baby. Booyah.
Y'all over here making fun of Zangief from Street Fighter. Leave that man alone. All right. He just trying to work and feed himself. I would say family, but he probably just got a dog and live alone in a cabin somewhere in Colorado. Trying to feed his family.
Did you guys enjoy the Fall Counts Anywhere match, by the way, between Big E and
Definitely.
okay?
Yeah. I thought it was a great match, and honestly, a great way to start SmackDown.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was brutal. It was
Yes.
fucking brutal.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Hey, I'm sorry, go ahead. Say it first and then I'll.
Hey, that Roman Reigns promo, fuck. Wow.
Man.
Mhm.
Amazing. Just calm,
Yeah.
cool, calculated. I mean, are we seeing the best Roman Reigns, period?
Yes.
I think so. I
Yes.
think so.
You are seeing the Roman Reigns we should have got 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone notice that Stephanie was not wearing a wedding ring?
What? She on the market?
Found it, but
Hey.
I found that very interesting.
She was looking good when she came out there too.
I know.
She was looking real good. I was like, all right, mom. All right, girl.
Mm.
And every time the hand went up, it was like, nope, still not a ring.
Ooh.
But you know what it is, though, Matt Michael. She went and got her butt sculpted by that same person that Lars was antagonizing. She doing the yoga. That's exactly what that was. Because she looked a little brand new when she walked out.
Yeah, she did look good. I won't lie.
And let's finish off SmackDown with the Bray Wyatt,
Mhm.
Kevin Owens, man.
Yeah.
That was some good fucking shit right there. And wouldn't it be wild if Owens got brainwashed into doing something for the Fiend now? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's where it's heading.
Yeah. It has to go that route at this point.
It's like
Yeah.
they chose the sacrifice, and now they need to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I'm
That
down.
storyline is just going to get better and better. I mean, with him and Bliss at the end standing there, I mean, that was just magical. I can't wait to see where they take this.
Now, let me ask you a question, because I know that they had the preliminary draft or anything, unless I'm misinformed. The Fiend is still up for debate on what the draft is versus tomorrow, right? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah, he wasn't chosen or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was part of that group pool for on Monday Night Raw, and see what's going to happen with that. Do you think they would move him? I hope not.
Doubt
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I would keep him SmackDown.
He's the biggest character they have, so I don't see them moving him off of Fox.
Yeah.
In fact, they doubled down on having the Fiend
Right.
on TV, so
Yeah. That makes sense.
instead of just pay-per-view.
Yeah, Fox wanted the Fiend the whole time. So
Yeah.
I was thoroughly sports entertained by SmackDown this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Me too.
we've mentioned it before. It's becoming the better show.
It has been the better show.
yeah, but that's interesting too, because that arc of SmackDown has been up and down now for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where sometimes it is just clearly ahead. I mean, we didn't even touch on the fact that Sasha and Bailey are about to go in fucking Hell in a Cell.
Right.
Wow, that's gonna be awesome.
Right.
That's going to be fucking unreal brutal.
Well, the one thing that you have to think about too now, eventually Becky's going to come back and do one of these women now go to Raw as part of the draft on Monday. I think that's a very logical question.
But it looks like, as of right now, they haven't been breaking up any of the matches
Yep.
that are scheduled.
Right.
So most likely that won't. Well, they're already both drafted back to SmackDown?
Yeah, they're both on SmackDown. I think Bailey
Was Bailey drafted back to SmackDown?
No.
Yeah, Bailey.
I didn't see Bailey wasn't
Bailey
drafted
wasn't
anywhere.
drafted.
No,
Yeah.
she's not drafted, but I
There you
think
go.
Well,
Sasha was. Yes, Sasha
Yeah,
was.
Sasha
was.
Yeah. So I thought Bailey was drafted right after Asuka.
I thought
No,
it was too. Yeah, I could have sworn.
I don't remember. I didn't catch that. I mean, I was. Get you getting.
So I mean, they could break them apart, but I don't see them doing it before Hell in a Cell. Why would you do it?
Oh, it would be weird.
According to Bleacher Report, Bailey is not mentioned anywhere. Immediately after Asuka stays on Raw, that's when Seth Rollins was chosen to go to SmackDown.
Yeah,
Right.
because that was a big deal.
But
Okay.
see, Mhm.
him and Bailey kind of have the same haircut.
That's a good one.
But I just called Seth Rollins a Karen.
But you know what? I will say this. What I did find interesting about the draft is that Otis is still on SmackDown. And I'm very interested to see what are they going to do with him. Like,
Well,
what is the plan?
Tucky's on Raw, dude.
Well, I know that yes, as you mentioned.
Well-
So that leads me to believe that they're going to do something. They're going to pull the trigger on this Money in the Bank. I'm thinking even we might see it sooner in Hell in a Cell, if Miz don't get his way.
Well, Otis is entertainment, so they need people like that, on Fox, who they're like, again, stacking the deck.
Well,
And
here's-
I think,
Here's the question on the Money in Bank, though. Is it stipulated that it wasn't that one?
Nope,
just-
it doesn't have to be the championship.
It can
No,
be
but it
used
can
for
be-
literally any championship.
Yeah.
So it can be on Raw, SmackDown. It could be
Mhm.
singles.
Brand
Could be
specific,
tag.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's how he cashes in for Raw,
Yep.
wins the belt, and now he's back with Mandy.
Maybe
That actually, I like that.
yeah, maybe Miz wins a title over there or something, and he cashes in on Miz. Boom.
Or
I
what if he
got
just
going.
cashes in for the tag titles and goes back with Tucker?
No. You have it where Miz wins a singles belt because that's singles revenge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to have the New Day basically dump the belts to
Yeah.
them
do that.
to facilitate it onto the next. I don't think we'd do that, but it would make sense because then he'd reunite with Tucky and Mandy, so it could happen.
Yeah, well, a lot there happened on SmackDown. Great showing, as you guys were talking about, and it should only be getting better. But we got to jump over into Monday Night Raw, and we finally got a payoff, which I'm sure our king will not give props to, although I think it's worth giving its props. Overall, though, I think the show, Monday Night Raw looked like to me is like overall, they were just trying to get through a show.
Yep.
That's how it was produced. Like,
They're trying to fill 3 hours.
right, let's just get
Yeah.
through this damn thing. But I mean, overall, it was all right. It was just that it was definitely chosen. But come on, the big news, right?
Yeah.
Retribution.
No, I'll give it up 100%. I mean, I'm still not a fan of the angle. However,
Mhm.
they did a good thing by having Mustafa Ali be the head of the group. And I mean, it definitely makes things more interesting now. And like you said, the show was kind of soft until they got to, the closing, and it was
Mhm.
good. I have no complaints about it. And then we found out, over the last couple of days that now Retribution has lost a member. So
Mhm.
Shelly Martinez is not part of the group anymore. She's going
Mercedes
back.
Martinez.
What did I say?
Shelly.
Oh, Shelly Martinez. It's Mercedes Martinez is not, So I think overall they're calling some audibles, and you know what? I still don't love it, but I don't hate it as much with Mustafa Ali being in there. You finally closed up an angle with the hacker stuff.
Feel it? It's starting to get that arc curve where he's starting to get a little more like He's laying the work like
And I called it. I called it about a
for
year.
weeks.
Yep. There we go.
Listen, I'm
Buckle up,
telling
Chuckle
you guys
Fox. Here we
all
go.
listen, I'm still not happy about the angle and the names, T-Bar and all this stuff. And they still treat these guys like stepchild. So, I mean, you can say what you want, but I mean, I give them props for putting Mustafa Ali as the head of this group. And
Hey,
that's
by
it.
the way, shout out to did you guys catch didn't MVP call T-Bar a T-bag?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Yes.
did. Bless his heart.
I love it. Yes.
But you know what, King Lucky, you do make a good point, and I'll give you that. I do feel that although you have Mustafa Ali as the leader of Retribution, I felt like it was kind of predictable, though. You know what I mean? We knew the hacker thing. We knew he was already supposed to come as a hacker. We talked about it about 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, 2-3 months ago. So it made sense that they were going to have him do it, but.
What does Retribution have anything to do with a hacker?
No, I'm saying that WWE basically, I don't think it was part of the plan in the first place. That's just my opinion. I don't think it was part of the plan. I think that they needed to figure out a way to keep intact Mustafa Ali with the hacker thing that he was doing, because we knew it was him months before. Don't mute me. I'm just saying, I felt like they just connected the two, because I felt like that wasn't the true leader. And that wasn't who they intended for the leader to be.
Yeah, I don't know if he was the leader. I think Dominic.
Wait. Hold on 1 second, though. They didn't go back to the hacker angle, though.
Well, I'm saying that at some point,
You're just assuming that this is what the tie is.
yes, there's a tie-in, because we all knew the hacker angle back 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it was. We all kind of knew it was Mustafa Ali, is what I'm saying. And I felt like that was something that didn't fall through. They're figuring out what's a way we can, and then Retribution came along. That's how I just feel. I feel like it landed in his lap.
Okay, I thought Matt was going to say.
Well,
Hey,
Michael's brought up the point a few shows ago how they kind of would stumble into some of these things to tie in. So this was what they did. I highly doubt he was ever, in consideration for the leader, and it didn't. Then it got pitched. So,
And probably nor did anyone expect that hacker angle to ever resurface at all.
yeah,
It was straight
I know I
boo-boo.
did.
It was boo-boo.
I thought it was just done when he got moved to Raw.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. We want to remind everyone to jump into our live video comments if you're on with us right now. Shout out to Shant and Lisa and a few others jumping on right now, giving their comments about the show. For entertainment value, did you guys enjoy the 24/7 with Gulag, R-Truth, and then in the trash can comes out Tozawa?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good, right? It's come on, Sin City Steve, come on. Oh, you know what? Let me ask you, Sin City. You had to enjoy. I know what you enjoyed on Raw. Keith Lee and Braun Strowman match. I mean, that had to be pretty good, right?
It was good. I wish it would have gone longer. I wish that they would have actually had a legit.
You don't have to worry about that. You know that we're going to see.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a WrestleMania main event in a couple of years, and I can't wait for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just having two hosses just beating the dog shit out of each other. I just wish that we would have seen a legitimate, like, full on match.
We'll probably even see it at Hell in a Cell, to be honest. Wouldn't surprise me if they announced it on Monday.
I wouldn't mind that. And I think
cool
for sure Monday night, Strowman's getting drafted to Raw. I mean, if you look at the way they've done things, Gulak was drafted to Raw. That was one of the announcements that they had on, the SmackDown show the morning after. So he got drafted to Raw. And then he's been on Raw, now consistently chasing that 24/7 title. So Strowman moving over to Raw doesn't surprise me. And maybe he starts a feud here with Keith Lee.
The only problem that I would have with that, Lucky, is they've already announced that Roman Reigns will be defending the SmackDown Championship against Braun
That's true.
Strowman on Friday. So I think they're kind of tipping their hand with that Braun Strowman is not going to Raw.
That's true. Yeah.
And if they do that for some kind of a swerve, then whatever. But I don't foresee that coming because they made a point of announcing that match in advance, which they never announce matches in advance. So
very true.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else out there stood out to you guys in Raw? I mean, we got a chance to see Nia Jax and Shayna and everything.
Hey, Murphy got his due, baby.
Oh yeah,
He beat the shit out of Seth.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That was entertaining. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
I like that because how he kept saying, pointing at his forehead, disciple or Messiah, disciple. He kept saying, I was like, that is some brilliant ass shit. I was digging it.
And poking him on his forehead too.
Yeah,
like
he was.
said.
He was letting him know.
Like,
Messiah.
don't be poking me on my forehead. Damn.
Yeah, it was a good match, but yeah.
I do have to just kind of circling back to that to the Braun Strowman and Keith Lee match. Keith Lee.
You just gave him a tag team, dude.
Roman, I know.
Matt Riddle and fucking Braun Strowman.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. What?
Please don't make that happen. Please don't.
But Riddle's going to Raw, baby. Riddle's going to Raw.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But no, I would have liked for them to have gone with the premise that Keith Lee knew what an exhibition match was. That was the only thing.
Right.
He seemingly needed clarification for what the term exhibition meant.
Well, because he didn't want to do a match without his clothes on. He thought it was an exhibitionist match.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's a bad visual picture right there.
Pretty much.
All right, anything else stood out to you guys on Raw? How about the women? Nothing on the women?
Yeah. Oh, just Lana getting her regular weekly beatdown. That's it.
Okay.
What is she paying for?
She's paying
Miro,
for Miro.
obviously.
She's paying for Miro, baby. And she's also paying
Yeah,
for
it's because
Bang
Miro
Energy.
decided to go to AEW.
They want
That's the exact reason why Lana's been put through a table 3 weeks in a row.
Yes, she has.
Fucking ridiculous.
I think the Bang one is more.
Yeah.
I think
They
Bang
definitely
is-
want to show her the bang. Set an example. You motherfuckers want to go into business for yourself. You want to do a contract outside of us? Bang, here you go. Table every week.
Because listen, Miro could, he's not an employee. He signed anywhere he wanted to say what he wanted to say, But her doing that, she's an employee, and I think she just keeps getting the crap beat out of her. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't feel sorry.
Oh, damn.
Oh, man.
You would have thought she broke up with you, man.
Ouch.
For real, man.
Listen, I do feel
Who's to
sorry
say?
for her.
Who's to
Yeah.
say?
I know, right? All right, you guys. Well, that is Raw. We'll tune in this Monday Night Raw for night 2 of the draft, and we'll see how the rest of that goes, and we'll talk about that next week. On to Impact Wrestling. Good stuff as they're trying to move their way towards Bound for Glory coming up in about 2 weeks. So with that, the show was interesting. It wasn't bad at all. I always enjoy the entertainment quirkiness of Impact Wrestling. How about the idea that Rohit Raju does everything to not have to put his title up on the line, and he wants to be a defending champion. So he says, hey, anybody come out to the ring, I'm ready now. Of course, Willie Mack comes to the ring, and he's like, no, I defeated you last week. So, it ain't you. And then Jordan Grace appears.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. Jordan Grace gets in the ring. She actually pins him, and we have a new X Division champion? No, he didn't actually say he was putting the title up. So he still is the X Divisional champion, Rohit. It's been good stuff with him so far. And he looks good too, man. He looks real good. It looked like he's just been hitting that gym hard as well. So shout out to him, man. Great storyline with that. I will say though, Scott D'Amore was like, look, man, you're doing all this, ducking and jiving with not putting your title up for Bound for Glory. It's going to be a 6-way scramble. Trey Miguel, TJP, Chris Bay, Willie Mack, and Jordan Grace against Rohit Raju for the X Divisional Champions.
I want to see how you get out of this one, man.
Right.
He's going to slither. He's going to slither his way out of this one, baby.
Somehow. Great writing on him so far. Also, as we know, Bravo, he's got this wedding coming up in about 2 months or so. I know, Lucky, you're probably not feeling that whole storyline. It's pretty funny. But apparently he's running out of money for this whole thing. This wedding has costed him a lot. So he's telling his folks to do something about it. His best man, Fallah Bah, said, I'll take care of it. And Fallah Bah, who of course has no money, decided to go to the person who does, Hernandez, of course, who's got all this money because he's been beating people in this arm wrestling challenge he's been doing for the past few months. Hernandez decided to, I need to take a shower, and he leaves all of his clothes and money and everything in that shower room. And here comes Fallah Bah coming right in and stealing that money. So we don't know what's going to happen. Hernandez don't know yet who's got that money, but Fallah Bah has.
Good tie-in.
Yeah, and that's going to help Bravo with making sure this wedding comes together with Rosemary. So let's see let's see what happened with that. Man, Rich Swann can't catch a break, man. He's back there doing his workout in the gym, and Eric Young just appears all masked up like he's a doctor, and of course he starts beating up on that leg again. So I mean, the whole point right now is trying to get Rich Swann healthy enough to fight Eric Young for this title that's going to be Bound for Glory. But Eric just seems to keep going right at him. So good storyline with that. I like what they keep running with that. And we'll see where that goes. Couple other things. I think I finally begin to understand a little bit. You tell me, King Lucky, if you agree with this. So Susie did get her arm, I guess, broken, or so they're saying with the storyline. With Deanna this last weekend doing out of that pay-per-view that they had, Victory Road or something. But Kylie Ray had an interview in the backstage, and Kimberly approached her and started mocking her friend about her arm being, broken or whatever the case may be. Then Kylie Ray, who's the nice and just happy and we're best friends,
wrestler in the world.
She just broke character and just went hard on Kimberly, just beating her in the back. And then she had this sort of moment of, oh my God, what did I do? And interestingly, that's the same correlation of what Susie has been having with trying not to become Su Yung. So I'm seeing now what might happen with this tie-in of them becoming like heel, tag team.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Kylie has been always, happy, smiling, and stuff like that. So this is the perfect pairing for her with, Su Yung and
right.
Man, whew,
Yeah.
They add one more person to this group, and it's just going to be fire.
Cool. So two other things I'll mention. I love the promo Heath did. There was finally supposed to be a signing, Scott D'Amore and Heath in the back. Let's get the paperwork done. Heath has been, as you know, promoting the hashtag, for Heath for the Impact, I think it is. And he's, he's going. And so Scott is ready. Scott's like, man, I'm ready to sign you. Let's go to the table. Let's do it. And as Scott about to push that paper over to him to sign, here comes Heath with his own contract that's got like 10 pages full of lots of demands. And, he's got this price that Scott D'Amore is like, I don't think you worth that price, and all of that. So eventually what was supposed to be a great moment ended up Scott D'Amore and them getting really pissed off and pretty much telling him, you're going to end up signing our contract. And then you can work your way to your contract because I'm not starting off with that. and he just left and threw some papers. And then that caused Heath to run out of the office. Rhino's happy because he's like, okay, I finally got him signed. And then what I thought was interesting was this, and maybe you thought this too, King Lucky. Heath literally mentions and says, no, I didn't get signed, which, you know, it doesn't make sense. When I was on Raw, I defeated Drew McIntyre. I'm like, whoa, okay, we naming shows and other wrestlers for show. I beat him. I was in the top. I nailed it. I hit the home run. I'm worth that contract. Wow, okay. He sold that. So we'll see where that goes from there, because he's officially not signed yet. But I thought, wow, he threw the name out there. I thought shows just always avoid naming other shows and wrestlers from there. Last but not least, EC3. I thought we was going to get I personally think they blew this whole funeral thing. I thought they were going to really do something a little bit more entertaining. But he did no more than what they consider was a bridge. It didn't even look like a bridge. It was a bench right behind him and a tree. It just makes no sense. It was so stupid. But he took the belt. He pretty much dropped it behind a bench. And Moose is, you know.
I thought you said bitch.
No, it was behind. No, I'm sorry. A bench.
Oh.
And
Wow.
but
Hey,
they're
your bed sounds like a bitch.
You pull that audio out. You find a bitch.
but they call it that he threw, but they're saying he threw the belt over the bridge. You know, you can clearly see it was no bridge. So anyway, I guess in reality, go ahead.
Did you say penis?
Oh my Lord.
Wow.
Matt Michaels, what is on your mind tonight, man? We're gonna have to talk after the show. So anyway, Moose is I guess from this point, I guess he doesn't have a title. I don't know. We'll see where we go from here. I was loving the storyline.
Did he ever have a title? Like,
no, well, no.
I mean, let's be real.
In his mind, he thought he was still holding the most prestigious title in Impact Wrestling, but
it's still the best thing for Moose right now. I mean, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would agree with that.
It's just funny, man.
But overall, like I say, that's pretty much sums up the show. Great stuff leading up to Bound for Glory. I'm actually get prepared of watching that and seeing what they have to do. So that's that. Let's jump over to our favorite Sin City Steve. What was AEW doing? We had a celebration.
We did. It was 30 years of Jericho, brother. It honestly, pretty solid show from top to bottom. I mean, you had the dog collar match that was pretty solid between Mr. Brody Lee and Cody. And for one reason or another, they had Cody take the championship back from Brody Lee. Everybody's shrugging and throwing their hands in the air. I mean, Cody did not need to get that championship back.
No,
He didn't.
And I think that it devalued it devalued it slightly. I mean, I do have to say that I like Cody coming back with, you know, his natural hair color, dressed in all black, and definitely being a serious departure from, you know, how he looked when he left. It definitely looked like as if there was a change in his character. So that's something that needed to happen. The only question that I have is this legitimately setting up Cody losing the championship next week to Orange Cassidy?
I hope so.
I mean, that because we talked about it right here on this show. And, you know, a couple of you guys said that it wasn't believable that Cassidy could, you know, dethrone Brody Lee, but it is believable that Orange Cassidy can dethrone Cody.
Especially if Brody Lee somehow.
Bingo. So that has to be the direction that they're going in.
It better be.
It has to be. That was the only part of the night that really just kind of had me shrug and be like, what the fuck? All in all, though, that match was extremely solid. You know, outside of the outcome, you know, there wasn't a whole ton of, you know, weapons or garbage in the match. You know, no broken glass. no thumbtacks, barbed wire. There was just the chain and these two guys that were connected to each other. And I think that they told one hell of a story. You know, Brody Lee definitely cemented himself as, you know, being a top tier player within AEW. I think that for me was the highlight of the show. Outside of the post-match piece of the main event. Now, I'm stipulating that because the match itself really wasn't that great between the Inner Circle versus Chaos Project. But you got to figure Jericho and Luther, they have history. It was great that the announcers brought attention to it and actually brought that element into it. And I believe that when Luther was initially signed with AEW, that Jericho was almost like as if the biggest cheerleader for him, you know, on the social media and things like that, congratulating Luther. So they definitely have history. And I think that it was good to see that. But please, no more Luther in the main event. He was a couple of steps too slow. All in all, though, he gave him a lot. Jericho gave Luther a lot, and it was really cool to see. You know, even if he was a couple of steps slower, a little bit more prodding, that kind of stuff in the ring. To see somebody like Chris Jericho, who is, you know, one of the greatest of all time in this sport, be that selfless in a show that was designed around him. I think that was really cool. And obviously, you know, the post match with MJF and the clown and you know, all that kind of fun stuff and the shenanigans, not to mention the credits rolling with every single name in the credits being Chris Jericho. Those were the two highest.
The brilliance was one step farther. They did the Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes. Yeah, that was top notch. I wanted to make sure that I distinguished between the main event itself and the post match antics, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
it was strange though. I can't believe. I mean, I thought Luger was all right, and I thought he was more. I thought he was, you know, in a more dire straits physically than he showed.
All right. What other takes?
Luger, really? Really?
That's a stretch.
Well, apparently you're not on the Lex Express.
Wow.
I love it.
I can only imagine that AEW's t-shirts aren't as tight as what they were for Super Brawl Saturday or whatever that indie show was that Lex Luger was involved in at the end of his career.
You guys have any other takes from AEW?
No.
Nothing?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's jump over to WWE NXT. What you got? Michael to Simon Street. What did you guys? What's part of some of the show that you enjoyed or you didn't like?
I got 3 parts to hit on.
All right.
First off was just how the night started. You know, you had Tommaso Ciampa versus Kushida. I thought it was a great matchup. Those two went at it. Just hard hitting. You could just tell they did not like each other. And the match was going great. I was thoroughly entertained. And then, you know, the Velveteen Dream decides to go ahead and interfere in the match and hit the wrong person. Hits Tommaso Ciampa. Yeah. Boy, that's going to be something interesting coming down the pipe works for his ass.
Yes, sir.
But Tommaso Ciampa by disqualification. I thought it was a good match. As I stated last week, Kushida, I'm very, very happy to see him bask in the sunlight at NXT. Just a great talent. and for him to showcase his skills, I think it's just going to get better from here on out. I think there's a lot of big plans for him.
But she's
Another
pretty good as the ninja too.
he might have been a ninja. Who knows? He might have. I don't know. But of course, for me, getting to see, Shotzi Blackheart. I enjoy seeing her each and every week. Her and Xia Li. The interesting enough, at the end of that match, after Shotzi Blackheart won the match, Xia Li, interested, a guy came in, his name was Boa, and he had something to give her. We don't know where that's going to go. And like I said last week too, I feel like they're going somewhere down the road with her. I don't know where it's going to lead to. I think it might be a faction. That's just my personal opinion. It'd be great if it's just all Chinese NXT representative faction. It'd be kind of cool. I think it'd be awesome seeing where that's going. And then last but not least, I would say we got a chance to see Ember Moon on the mic. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. It's way better than what it used to be. And of course, she ended up getting in a match. Well, of course, she was going off talking about she wants gold. And then, the champ comes out. And as they were about to discuss what's going to happen next, of course, the circus comes out and everybody gets into it. So, I mean, it was just interesting. But the one thing I do want to hit on, and I'll let Matt Michaels get the rest of the meat on the bone, was the match that ended up happening with Rich Holland and Danny Burch. That was a pretty good match to start off with. Rich Holland was just, like he showed the last couple of weeks, just very dominant, very nasty with it. And he was beating the crap out of Danny Burch, especially toward the end where he was just doing headbutt after headbutt after headbutt. But in the corner. And then, of course, Oni Larkin came out, which is a tag team partner, came out and to defend him. And in enough, going back and forth with Holland. And then the crazy thing that happened was, as they were broken up by referees, Oni jumped over the top rope. Holland caught him and snapped his knee. I think it's his knee or his ankle, but not as bad as Dak Prescott. But it was pretty bad. And little couple of updates that I was able to find out on the 8th, WWE reported that Rich Holland underwent surgery and is not medically cleared to compete after catching Oni Larkin's dive last night. So he suffered a left ankle dislocation and fracture and a right knee patellar dislocation and a patellar tendon rupture. So pretty much
sounds bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
No.
So it was like a freak accident because he caught him, everything looked great, and you could just see it just his left leg just buckled.
His weight gave out under it.
Yeah.
The one thing to point out on that is that he had a dislocated and fractured ankle on one leg and a patellar dislocation and a ruptured patella tendon on the other leg.
Oh, Lord.
So both of his legs got completely screwed up.
Damn.
And it absolutely brutal injury.
And he was
It
just
looked
taken
like-
off.
Well, it looks like it was the patella might have gave first, and that caused so all the weight shifted onto his other leg,
To
and
the
that's
other
when
leg.
the
Yeah.
ankle snapped.
Yeah, we wish him the best of luck and speedy recovery. I was actually invested to seeing what NXT was kind of doing with the storyline, just making him be a beast. I think that's always something that's great to see in NXT, just in general, when you just have somebody that's just a juggernaut, just runs roughshod through everybody. And of course, we'll see what happens, because I know there was him and Adam Cole were supposed to do something, and I'm sure that's going to be on hold, or however they're going to do it while he goes for his injury. That's pretty much what stood out to me with NXT. Always a great show. I enjoy it. Matt Michaels, what do you have?
Oh, I just got to say that, it's a shame. It's more sad to think that, he got injured versus Dak Prescott's injury because he had actual talent.
Dak ain't the problem, baby. It's the defense.
Look,
Apparently, if your offensive line,
there is none. There's none. Lucky, you should be the offensive line.
Hey, why not?
You
Hey.
protect them better than they doing.
Hey, me. I'll show up. Hey,
Yeah.
also, Dexter Loomis was back, baby. Boom.
Yes. Yep.
Great.
It's always great to see him.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with them.
I wanted to say more, but I didn't want to leave.
Well, I mean, you almost pulled a King
I
Lucky
almost
and
did.
recapped the entire show.
I don't. No, hold on. Y'all
So I
can't
don't know
give
how
me that.
much more you could have said.
But
Welcome to
here's the thing.
kingdom.
Hold on. The thing is y'all ain't say nothing when Impact basically gave the whole goddamn Impact show. So I'm
Well,
just
that's the gimmick, dude.
Yeah.
Impact
So I
on
gotta have an
impact.
Impact on impact.
Well, I
Come
tell you
on,
what,
man.
I'm gonna have to change my name to NXT then in order for me to
For
be able
most
to just do the whole
people-
show.
most people don't get impact. So that's why he goes over the whole damn show.
But
Yeah,
clearly,
I see your point.
clearly Impact is impacted. So,
And I still didn't mention all the matches on that. That was just some of the highlights.
Ooh.
But I get it though. Did you want to add anything else, Matt Michaels, on that, or for NXT, or that was it?
The Garganos are the best.
oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Love the Garganos.
I'm interested to see where where Indy Hartwell factors in with them.
Enforcer.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a tall girl. I mean, she has to be about almost 6 foot, 5'9", or anywhere from like 5'10" to 6 foot, I think.
Well,
Think
regardless,
that-
she's got to be taller than Johnny.
Well, everybody's taller than the Garganos.
geez.
But man,
God,
that TV looks sweet, man. I tell you what, if I need to hang up a TV ASAP, I'm calling the Garganos. 'Cause he set that shit up real quick. It looked leveled and everything.
Well, absolutely. Oh, go ahead, Matt Michaels.
Oh, I was just gonna say, thank God JR is not on NXT because Indy Hartwell, it's a he. Look at him. Look at him.
You know what's crazy is she's a beautiful woman though.
Yeah,
Well, that has nothing
absolutely.
to do with her womanhood. It just has everything to do with JR not being able to tell the difference between a man and a woman.
Well, just make sure that you're not tweeting about it and hashtagging Tony Khan.
Right.
All right. Oh boy, you guys. Let's go over to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And of course, the G1 is still taking place. Night 14 just happened. Man, this is getting really exciting. Sin City just kind of seeing what takes place. I was just kind of curious. I know we talked about last week. We went over who we thought was looking pretty good in their numbers in the top spot, but I was looking at now who has kind of fallen to the bottom, and I want to see was there anyone that shocks you from being in the position they are? Like I'm shocked. Like Jeff Cobb is mostly on the bottom. I guess he stands at 3 and 4. I would think he would be a little bit more higher than where he's at, but I don't know, maybe not. Juice Robinson has fallen somewhat over since last week we talked, and then how about these others? You guys get ready to get your laugh on because I'm gonna do my best here.
Oh, yes.
How about Yujiro Takahashi? Okay, how about that? He's 0-7 in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then Yoshihashi 1-6. What's your take, man? Should they be this low within this tournament?
So I think that Yujiro not having a single win in the tournament is what I think is going to happen is he has 2 matches coming up. Everybody has 2 matches left in their round robin tournament.
Okay.
So Yujiro's 2 matches remaining are against Jeff Cobb and against Kota Ibushi.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where I legitimately think that they're setting up Yujiro to be the spoiler and maybe deciding this tournament, because up at the very top, you have Jay White, Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay, and Kazuchika Okada, all with 10 points. So they've all won 5 matches. So ultimately, that's where your separation is. So you've got 4 guys that have 10 points each. Everyone else in A block has 6 points. So Ishii, Taichi, Minoru Suzuki, Shingo, and Jeff Cobb, they all have 6 points. Yeah. So for all intents and purposes, all those guys have been eliminated at this point. So really, Yujiro's only real saving grace for this tournament is to spoil the tournament for Kota, which I think definitely could happen. And it's over in the B block. It's a little bit more up for grabs, but it's a 2-person race. Evil and Tetsuya Naito each have 10 points. And obviously they have history. They were both in LIJ together. Evil turned heel against Naito. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. And Evil actually did beat Naito in this tournament as well. And the way that ultimately everything will break down is the person who amasses the most points from block A wrestles against the person that has the most points from block B. The winner of that match gets a world championship shot. So we'll see, we'll see who gets the heavyweight championship shot. I personally think that it's gonna end up coming down to, it'll probably be Evil. I'd say probably Evil versus Jay White, because they've been actually teasing some dissension within Bullet Club, and I could actually see that playing out a little bit more in the finals.
Evil is still the leader, right?
What's that?
Evil is still the leader.
Evil is still the leader. Yeah, he kind of usurped Jay White. Jay White was the leader, but he couldn't get back into the country because of COVID.
Right.
So they had to, throw something against the wall, prematurely turn Evil against LIJ to join Bullet Club and be their leader, because they had to have a stable leader, for storyline purposes and all that stuff. So I could definitely see it coming down to Evil versus Jay White. And, that you got to give the championship opportunity to Jay White. He will at that point take back over the leadership of the Bullet Club, in my opinion. And then we'll be exactly where we were, pre-pandemic, as far as the organizational structure, with Jay White being the leader of Bullet Club again. Okay.
No doubt. Good info there. Hey,
is Scott Norton still part of the NWO in Japan?
No, he's not. Although he did do very well in New Japan. He did do very well.
Where all of you guys?
In fact, Scott Norton is one of only three U.S. citizens, U.S.-born citizens, to hold the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Anybody have any idea who the others were? Just putting y'all on the spot.
Say that again. What was the question again?
Who else held the IWGP Heavyweight Championship that were U.S. Gaijins?
Probably Jericho or Kenny
Jericho
Omega.
Did not. Jericho, he wrestled in Japan, but he did not hold the heavyweight championship.
And Omega?
He's also not an American.
He's also not an American.
That's right.
Omega is not American either.
Was it Hogan?
Hogan did. That was the one. Yeah. That was one that I was
long time ago.
It
was long time ago. I remember watching it long time ago.
Yep. So Hogan, Scott Norton, and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. We should do that from now on, like trivia.
We need to
do some trivia.
Bad Boyz trivia.
20
I think
questions.
that would be really cool.
How about 20 questions?
Oh, jeez.
I'm saying that could be fun.
Yeah. Let's keep this moving. My computer is down to 68.
Well, knowing how your internet connection is, it'll probably lag out sometime.
You probably will.
I'm saying it's either lag out or it goes offline because my battery doesn't sound so.
We're just a quick question. Were you guys a part of the whole Bullet Club likings from the time they started to where they're at now? Were you sold on the whole Bullet Club thing?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt. I mean, and it was the cool thing. That was what brought me back to being an avid New Japan watcher, to be 100% real.
Same here.
You know, having guys like the Bucks and Omega and
Yeah.
even AJ Styles, you know, having them
Balor.
all in a largely, very, very largely Gaijin stable in a foreign promotion it was cool. So.
Okay. No doubt, no doubt. Just thought I'd ask you guys that. Let's jump over into FSW, Future Stars of Wrestling. Here in Las Vegas, you guys can learn all about them. Every Wednesday, we have the DeFalco Files, where you get to hear Joe DeFalco, who's the owner of Future Stars of Wrestling, just give his insight about the business and since its beginnings to where it's at now. But apparently this past weekend, they had a show that went down and our very own Matt Michaels attended. And man, we want to know how was everything? I mean, this is pretty much your first show,
It wasn't a show.
Oh, it wasn't. I'm sorry.
These are birthday parties.
Oh, it's a birthday. I'm sorry. It is a birthday party. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Tell us, how was the birthday party during COVID?
Well, just like anything else in COVID, it's spaced out, nicely,
Okay.
which actually helps because it makes it breathable in that place. Because before, when you're putting 200 people in that space, I mean, it gets hot really quick. But I'm not going to go over the matches for the sake of the fact that they're actually starting to tape some of the stuff for TV. So this was the first TV tapings that they're doing for November when it starts up. They'll be running these invitation only shows probably for the foreseeable future until things get either cleared or they have to scale back, and that's how they'll get the TV product together. It was a very tight show in terms of everyone is stepping up their game. They realize now that there's an opportunity to be seen a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you're not stepping up your game, you're not going to make it onto, a TV taping show.
Right.
So if you really want to wrestle, you have to turn up your game. Graves did come in, and Hammerstone came in. Some good stuff. Brian Idol came in for their basically trying to find the next future star of wrestling. So Brian Idol came in. He was the first one to do that. And got to see a little bit of the unguided. Matt Vandergriff is out potentially 6 to 8 weeks. So it was just a freak accident that happened during the last time they had a show a couple weeks ago. So he's out of action, but that didn't stop the heat from rising between the unguided and death proof. So there's some stuff to be on the lookout for. A lot of good stuff. Maserati being there, being the OVW champion. She got to flaunt that belt off.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's good steps being taken, and it's entertaining as can be. They're going out of their way. They are busting their ass to perform at a high level, and when you see the product, it's going to be something that should draw hopefully more eyes, more viewers. And, you know, if they can ever open Sam's Town back up, the people at Sam's Town there, you know, you're looking at hopefully selling out every single time they do shows.
Haven't
live.
the amount of people inside of a building has gone up? It's like up to 250 now.
Yeah, but you got to remember to have the space. The social distancing is still in,
Sure.
so you can have that. But because of the social distancing, you can only potentially, I think that probably like 70 or so people, I guess, maybe. Yeah, I'm not particularly, I don't know the actual number, but it's just you lose.
Right.
Basically, they used to have 2 rows for chairs, and so you basically just lost 3 rows, just because you have to space out.
Right.
So that's all it is, just less people, and hopefully.
But I mean,
you know,
even running a show in Sam's Town is with that amount.
it has nothing to do with that. Sam's Town can't. They're not up and running.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Period. Like
I got you. Okay. I didn't know.
like their entertainment department, I don't know if they're back yet, if they've been
Sure.
retained yet, but they're all let go.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, at least there is some form of entertainment that's happening in town. So I guess the best thing to do is just continue first to listen to the DeFalco Files, which comes on your device if you are a subscriber, and you should be. If you're not, just look us up, Vegas Bad Boyz, and hit the subscribe button, and you'll get all of our shows, including what you're hearing right now. On Wednesday, you get a chance to hear everything about FSW, and then they'll also tell you how you can go about attending the show if you're interested. Again, because it's limited, it's only a certain amount of people, so you got to really definitely know if you want to go, how to make that happen so you can get in to see the show. And as we know, they have great talent over there. We've interviewed a lot of them, and I can tell you there's definitely some future stars that we're going to see moving up into some of the big leagues. So good stuff with that, Matt Michaels. Thanks for the info on that. Guys, we're coming to the end here of the wrestling show. I just want to say shout out again to the Los Angeles Lakers, which I'm happy they are the champions in NBA. And let me just say this too, and I know they kind of mentioned this in their own breakdown after the show, but you really got to give props, guys, to just how overall the NBA really just held down this whole process during COVID. Not a one outbreak that they have. I mean, compared to what we see happening in MLB and in the NFL. Hell, I heard the NFL.
Test.
Say it again.
0 positive tests.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
so I mean, that's great leadership, man. Just on their executive team and all, and it's just really good just to kind of see everything went down. Also, their message, the cause of what they were doing. They never forgot why, what this year was going to be about for social justice, and I give them props on that as well. I know a lot of people may have different opinions and different things about that, but they made a stance on that, and they never forgot that. Even tonight, they also referenced that as well. So shout out to the NBA for that. And, and my, of course, Raiders took down those Chiefs, which I'm always happy to see.
So I got to ask you the question. How much did you rub that in the face of Miss Micah?
Oh, I told her to call me the Raiders tribal chief. Say it.
Hey,
Say it.
Hey, but real talk, Impact, did you ever turn in that application though?
What application?
That bandwagon application.
It's a great question.
First
and one that
off,
we need answers to.
how many times do I have to tell you? Now, first off, just because you don't hear me cheer all the time on a team, for starters, doesn't mean that I don't have one. Okay? That's for starters. I grew up.
Changes every season.
Matt Michaels, how come
It
you
does.
ain't him?
No, it does.
Him?
No, hold on. First off, you guys forget, okay? I was born and raised in Los Angeles. I'm not like somebody who I see on the bottom of my screen who chose a team in a state that they only flew to twice, but only decide to want to cheer them on because they won some Super Bowls back in the day.
He's an actual bandwagon fucking fan.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. Right. So that's what I'm saying. No, wait, hold up.
I got family in Texas. So
Whatever.
before
Listen.
you speak on it, make
all
sure
I'm
you
saying-
know the facts.
All I'm saying,
Hey, I will say this: at least Lucky is loyal to the soil when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
I'm just gonna say it, and I don't give wins to King Lucky, so you know it's the truth.
well, here, let me just sum you up right quick, Simon Street. Let me end the show. The bottom line is, whenever there is a team that's in the city that I live in, okay, and especially the Raiders. Growing up in LA, I was hardcore Raiders fan. All right, I had the starter jacket. I was almost scared to wear them because you almost would get shot for almost having something like that. Believe me, okay.
True.
But again, I took it personal, and maybe I shouldn't. When I see my team now, which I know originally started in Oakland, leaves LA and then go to Oakland. Now, that doesn't mean I hated the Raiders. I just wasn't invested into them. But of course, now that they're back here in the town I'm living in, boy, I'm excited again. What's wrong with understanding that? That doesn't mean I hated them. It's just that now I'm just happy that they're here. And guess what? As much as I grew up with the Clippers, right? If the Clippers were to come here to Vegas, guess what? You're going to hear me go, yay, Clippers. Okay? I'm just saying, I know you never would do that, King Lucky, but I'm just saying, hey, as in LA, you enjoy having the Lakers, you enjoy having the Clippers. Okay? And if they came here, I would also be ecstatic about that. You know? Now, if you want to talk about LeBron, that's a whole nother story because, hey, I am a LeBron fan. And if LeBron was to leave the Lakers and decide to go to some other bullshit ass team, I probably would do it. I still would probably like that because I like LeBron. But
He's gonna
nevertheless,
go to the Supersonics. He's gonna go to the Supersonics in 2 years.
hey, but anyways, that's that. That's it, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week when we talk about part 2 of the draft. Oh, and yeah, go ahead, King Lucky.
This championship was for Kobe and Gianna Mangala.
Yep. Mama
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we all will celebrate. All right. With that, thank you all for listening. And that's it. Peace.